Carl Stotts, Commissioner of Little League Baseball, speaks to you from Little League headquarters, Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Commissioner Stotts.
Well, it looks like I'm at bat. And this is a wonderful chance to tell you what Little League Baseball is and what it means to boys everywhere. Little League Baseball is a real community project, and everyone participates. Mother, dad, sister, and brother. It's entirely amateur and completely non-profit. Sponsorship of the teams is strictly a local undertaking. Little League is designed for boys 9 to 12 years and provides them with planned recreation. It teaches good sportsmanship and teamwork on and off the playing field. And importantly, it builds healthy minds and bodies for the youth of our land. Little League Baseball is played on scaled-down diamonds under special rules similar to those of the major leagues, and with all the necessary uniforms and playing gear. This diagram shows you the official layout of a Little League playing field. You'll note the distance from pitcher's box to home plate is 44 feet. The bases are 60 feet apart, and the home run fence is an average 180 feet distant. Franchised by national headquarters at Williamsport, Pennsylvania, leagues become eligible for district, state, regional, and national competition. Our present setup provides regional zones designed on league participation. And the boundaries are flexible to allow for rapid growth and expansion. And you know, they're playing Little League in Canada and in Hawaii, Puerto Rico, the Canal Zone, and Cuba. But Little League takes volunteer manpower for leadership and guidance. It takes careful planning and work, hard work and lots of it to achieve the ideal and practical Little League, but it's worth it. I think we should remember always that Little League belongs to the boys, and that the purpose of Little League is to let them play ball, big league ball, the Little League way, properly planned and supervised. You know, we can't do too much for our boys. They're only young once.
Hi, guys. What's cooking? You got problems? Relax, boys. There's a Little League committee on the job. Sure, it's off-season, but now's the time to select a field site and get the official okay. Result, the boys put the whammy on the turf. They've something to work for, their own field, and I do mean theirs. Volunteer grown-ups lend a hand with much-needed equipment. And first thing you know, there's a Little League ball field right before your eyes. Well, almost. Naturally, there was supervision and guidance. There always is in Little League. You know, it won't be long now before they trot out the rule book. The season opens, and you hear some kid cry,
"Hey, look, Mom, they're playing Little League ball."
Right you are, son. They're playing Little League ball from coast to coast. Thousands of boys are proudly wearing the Little League uniform with the backing of their communities. Volunteer manpower, you can underline that item. It makes possible the Red Cross for emergencies, loudspeaker systems and the play-by-play of the game, umpires and managers, coaches with the know-how, and a satisfied sponsor who's not afraid to pull up the sleeves and go to work. There's a well-constructed backstop. And all playing shoes have cleats, Natch, but they're rubber, a Little League safety-first precaution. Something new, a batter's helmet, real protection against pitched balls. It's required in Little League, you know. fans, meet Bobby McDowell from Wimber, Pennsylvania. A game guy with a 4-4 record and only one good leg. And we think we've got it tough. And Walter Lefko of Middletown, Connecticut rates a bow. Little leaguer Lefko successfully overcame polio and right away signs up for the new season. Yes, indeed, it's the big warm-up in Little League. North, south, east, and west. Everyone's in there pitching, including this bat boy with big league ideas. Look out, Bub. You'll throw yourself right into Yankee Stadium.
Well, what do you know?
It's Yankee Stadium, all right, and Little League jumps into the big league as guests of the Yankee Ball Club. Long time no see. How you been, pal? The boys play a couple of twilight innings as a curtain raiser to the Yankee White Sox game. There's a hit if there ever was one.
Wow!
Does that crowd go for Little League? But the big thrill in Junior's life comes when he packs his grip. And don't forget your toothbrush, fella. For that super trip to the Little League World Series at Williamsport, PA. Here they come. And the willing tries of these knee-high guys will make baseball history. What a welcome. Brass band and everything. Everybody happy? And still they come, these regional Little League champions. And City Hall goes along with the deal. Training table tips. Eat, sleep, play ball, and you guessed it, eat. While out at the airport, the Civic Committee makes happy landings for Skyway travelers. And the first to arrive is a member of the press. Greetings to you, Ford Frick, President of the National League. Paul Kerr, Vice President of the Baseball Hall of Fame, and top man of the International League, Frank Shaughnessy. President Harry E. Humphreys, Jr. is leadoff man for the delegation from United States Rubber, which includes Vice Presidents Elmer H. White and Walter Norton. Little League, so a little plane, but a big passenger, the Honorable James H. Duff of Pennsylvania. The Motor Cavalcade. Destination, Little League Stadium. Now for a quick rundown of the tournament quarterfinals. In the opener, Hagerstown, Maryland met Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. Maryland at bat. Jimmy Bowser pitching to Ken Dudley, who laces into one that goes for a safety, scoring Charlie Bonds for Hagerstown. Pennsylvania is trailing. Bowser's trying to settle down. It's 1-1 on Charlie Lockbaum when he puts the label on one that's out of this world and out of this park. Kenny Dudley scores as Lockbaum buys a round trip. Tough luck, Pennsylvania. That homer breaks up the game. Lockbaum puts it on ice for Maryland, who scores later, and it's 4-0. Second game, Bill Smith pitching for Clinton against Bridgeport. Tommy Norco nicks into a two-bagger, sending Johnny Lewis home with Bridgeport's second tally. Nice going there, Norco. Dusty Reeves laces a four-bagger in Clinton's half of the fifth, scoring Rhodes with a tying run. It's Clinton 2, Bridgeport 2 as Reeves scores. But Connecticut tallies in the extra seventh for a 3-2 win. In the third game, Tom Leafy homers for Kankakee against Pensacola in the third inning. These Little Leaguers really can slam that ball. This one ties it up. Pensacola 1, Kankakee 1. Ninth inning, third extra in Little League, and Jerry J. doubles with a Kankakee teammate on to sew up the ball game. Illinois 2, Florida 1. Fourth game, Larry Fogarty connects with two mates on base in the Texas half of the fifth. A two-bagger that racks up a shutout over Westerly. A no-hitter for pitcher Billy Martin scored Texas 3, Rhode Island nothing. It's not all baseball, though. And the big Little Leaguers have a program of entertainment for the boys, which includes a visit to the State Fire Tower atop Bald Eagle Mountain. The Little Leaguers get a brisk workout in leg action. They watch the state forest to plot the location of a brush fire. Then down and on the double to answer a Little League 3 alarm and catch a ride on the hook and ladder. Every kid's dream. The American Legion's 40 and 8 shows the town to the boys, and the boys to the town, courtesy Lycoming Post 382. The historic Susquehanna River and supervised speedboat rides top off a happy package of thrills. Then it's back to the ballpark. How some guys do make time. And a rabbit's foot, as if he needed luck. Here we go into the semifinals, and the opener has Maryland versus Connecticut. With Ronnie Liptak aboard, Johnny Lewis belts one that's good for a round trip. In their first time at bat, Connecticut racks up 2 tallies. Liptak scores as pitcher Lewis, who also bats cleanup, jogs around with run number 2. Connecticut at bat again, 2 men on as Mickey Buckmer bunts. Maryland, you've got to do better than that. 2 runs scored as Hagerstown blows up. Connecticut 6, Maryland 2. Illinois versus Texas. Bases loaded for Texas as Kenny Stevens belts a single. Fogarty scores, but Freddie Burns is out at the plate. 2 Texans aboard with Gerald Walling up. He laces a single that brings in Ray Garcia, and Walling goes on to second. It's heads-up base running. Kenny Stevens scores as Texas beats Illinois 3-0 for Martin's second shutout. So today, it's Texas and Connecticut for the Little League World Series Championship. And the Little League World Series parade is underway.
Play ball, the fans are cheering, each little leaguer and eager fever. You'll see a home run with loaded bases. We're going places in Little League.
Senator James H. Duff from Pennsylvania is guest of honor. The regional champions are on parade, and the Connecticut crew gets the long look from the crowd. So, too, those all-stars from down Texas way. Mayor Williamson greets Harry E. Humphreys, Jr., who once again proudly plays host to the visiting Little Leaguers. Mr. Humphreys receives the key to the city, thanks to a timely assist from MC Tommy Richardson. Solemn respect is paid the flag that symbolizes freedom throughout the world. Junior Miss Collectors, give 'em dimes or dollars, what you will. It's all for Little League. Boy Scouts are on the job to sell you the official program of the series. Added attraction, Ford Frick at bat, and he's fanned by Senator Duff.
Stand by, folks.
Batteries for today's game. For Texas, Billy Martin and Gerald Walling. For Connecticut, Johnny Lewis and Bobby Fallen.
The umpires are briefed by Commissioner Stotts. Here's a quick pitch from the opposing captains. Texas first, Captain Kenny Stevens. Can you top Connecticut?
Well, I don't know. We'll be in there trying, soon enough.
Captain Ronnie Liptak, can you take Texas?
Gee, I don't know. Maybe we can. And if we do, the joint will be jumping.
And now this is Joe Hassel, your announcer at Williamsport, PA, turning you over to sportscaster Ted Husing for the play-by-play of the big game in this Little League World Series.
Thanks, Joe. Little League is on the news ticker. Newsreel and television cameras are rolling. Senator Duff tosses out the opening ball, and Bridgeport takes the field against Houston for the payoff playoff. On the mound, Johnny Lewis, as in Joe Lewis. Behind the plate, chief umpire Howard Gare. And it's play ball. At the plate, Larry Fogarty for Texas looks it over and takes ball 1. He's got an eye like old Ty. Now here comes Johnny's windup, the delivery, ball 2. Fogarty connects for a roller along the third base line. The throw's on time, and the Texas leadoff is out at first. Now Freddie Burns, with 2 strikes on him, goes down swinging. This kid's cool. The 3-2 pitch is in there to Kenny Stevens, and it's no runs, no hits for Texas in the first. Well, the crowd's seeing some real ball. With 2 down, Ronnie Liptak pops a shorty, and the Nutmeggers are out in order. And that brings up Texas again in these big game highlights. A future big leaguer winding up. Walling of Texas on first. Kirsten connects, and Connecticut attempts the DP, but Kirsten's safe. 2 on, 2 out. Hinkle walks, and that loads up the bases for Texas. A tough spot for Lewis, who looks like a southpaw edition of Brooklyn's Don Newcomb. 2 down, 2 strikes, and Fogarty whiffs. A tight squeak. Connecticut's half of the second. 2 down, and Tommy Norco wraps out a safety down the first baseline, but dies there as Charlie Cassano goes down swinging. Here we go in the third. Now with 2 Texas outs, Gerald Walling swings on the 3rd strike, retiring the side. In the Bridgeport third, Richie Burlant swings, and he's out. Pitcher Billy Martin's got what it takes, and Ronnie Olbrick fans the breeze for strike 3. Well, it's a real pitching battle. Now Martin delivers, and Bobby Paulin taps back to the mound. Billy then throws him out, and Connecticut goes down 1-2-3. Lewis gives Texas its first break, walking Graham Kirsten, who takes first, and then, thinking very quickly, sees an opening, and turning the bag, jets on down to second. Here's the big play of the game so far. Heads up ball for Kirsten, safe at second. It's time to howl in Texas. Martin, who pitched 2 no-hitters on the way in, swings clean on strike 3. And now there's plenty of excitement as Alex Mitchell swings on strike 1. Hey, now listen to manager Joff Cross. Alex takes the signal from Joff.
Step into that ball.
Pumps the old hickory. On the mound, Lewis shakes off the sign, accepts another, winds, and our Zuma lens follows the ball as Mitchell labels it, a long one to the center field wall. Cassano of Connecticut takes it off the boards, and he throws home too late. Kirsten scores for Texas. First tally of the game. And then, with Mitchell on second, Larry Fogarty takes ball 4, and he strolls to put Texans on first and second. Burns ties into a fast one. A Texas leaguer for Texas that sends Larry Fogarty to second. And it looks like Mitch has all the time in the world, but the coach holds the kid at third. And the kid doesn't like it. Now, brothers, Lewis is in a hole, and he gets in deeper as Ray Garcia singles, scoring Mitchell with run number 2 for Texas. Yes, Garcia's safe, but that first baseman doubts it. Believe me, brother, that was a close one, but the ump's decision stands. Kenny Stevens up, looks like a young Malott. Bases loaded, 2 out, 2 strikes as Lewis cranks up for the payoff pitch. And now, with this pitch, Texas has finally retired in the 4th as Ken fans. Texas 2, Connecticut 0. Ken Samuel leads off in Connecticut's half of the 4th with a walk. The first stroll that young Texas hurler has given up in the game, and that's what you call tight pitching. Liptak swings as Samuel goes down, and he's safe at second on a steal. Man, you see everything in a Little League World Series. There goes Samuel stealing third, and he gets away with it, sliding as Liptak strikes out. Now that brings up Lewis with a teammate on third. Johnny raps one for the pitcher's mound, and that brings in Samuel with the first Connecticut run. Lewis out at first. Lou Viglione ties into a fast one that's into right field for a base hit. Connecticut is trying to keep this rally alive. They're only 1 run behind, and now catcher Walling steadies young pitcher Martin down. Billy digs his rubber cleats into the mound, and he bears down. Tommy Norco takes ball 1. Coach Don Iade signals the steal, and Viggi is away and safe at second. Now there's a huddle out there on the mound. Joff Cross, the former St. Louis Cardinal, who gives his time to the Houston kids, votes a stay for 12-year-old Billy on the hill. But pitcher Martin doesn't like what his catcher likes. Yeah, that's better. With 2 and 2 on Norco, Bill blazes it over. Hey, looks like that kid knows what he's throwing. End of the 4th inning, the score Texas 2, Connecticut 1. Now it's time for the Little League 4th inning stretch. It's like the 7th inning business in the big leagues, and mister, can I ever use it. Hey there, small fry. No, that's no way to steal bases, even in television. Lewis still on the mound for Connecticut. Walling at bat in the 5th sends a hopper to short. Well, from where I sit, it's close, but Gerald is out. Now we bring you slow motion of these little big leaguers in action. Watch this follow-through of Lewis. That curveball has plenty of bend, even though it is ball 1. Here we go again. Lewis with that big follow-through puts one over that Kirsten grounds to second. Just look at that form. But Kirsten is out at first. 2 out, 2 strikes. Lewis sidearms it to strike out opposing pitcher Martin and retire Texas. Boy, oh boy, what a ball game. Now as Texas takes the field, Whitey Carrasco comes up to pinch hit. The Connecticut coach signals for a bunt. And here's a thriller in slow motion. Here comes the pitch, which Whitey lays down perfectly. Catcher Walling goes out after that bunt, and now here comes pitcher Martin. They collide on the baseline, Walling throwing for the bag as he falls. It's the good old college try, and the throw gets to the bag before Whitey. The ump says he's out. How do you like that? But that doesn't take the heart out of Connecticut, even though Ulbrich strikes out to retire the side. But as the Connecticut boys now take the field, you can bet on one thing. They're in there fighting. Here in the 6th, Lewis lets the first down to retire the side. 1, 2, 3. Last half of the last inning. Now it's do or die for Connecticut. 2 strikes on Bobby Paulin, and he misses the 3rd. That kid Martin pitching for Texas has plenty of poise. 3 fingers for a curve. But not for Billy. How about a fastball? And there it goes, right past Samu for call strike 3. The camera zooms in with the first pitch to Liptak. Strike 1, swinging. Billy Martin bears down like the ball player he is and is going to be. Strike 2. And now the chips are down. Billy's trying for his 11th strikeout. There's the pitch. Liptak swings, and it's all over. Texas 2, Connecticut 1. That kid pitcher has sure earned his victory. So has Coach Cross, who heads right over to congratulate the losers. That's big Little League sportsmanship. And are those guys from Texas happy? Well, who wouldn't be? After all, they are Little League World Series champions. Pitchers Lewis and Martin talk it over with U.S. Rubber's Harry E. Humphreys, a solid Little League fan.
Texas can well be proud of its new Little League World Series champion. And so, too, can Connecticut, Illinois, and Florida, and all the other teams. They have all acted as champions, both on and off the field. They have proved that this is the material from which good citizens are made. Boys trained to think for themselves and yet be a part of coordinated effort. Yes, Little League Baseball does something for boys, for their families and their communities. This is good for our country. We, in the United States Rubber Company, want to sincerely help in the development of the Little League ideals and objectives. We salute the thousands of unselfish men and women in communities throughout the country who have voluntarily engaged in this activity. A very special greeting to boys everywhere who live and play and think in terms of Little League Baseball.
The Lone Star State pays tribute to the new champions in the Gala Rice Institute Parade in Houston, which dedicates the new 70,000-seater Rice Bowl. Top school bands. Cadets from all over Texas are in the line of march. Going down. Get an eyeful of this famous precision girl unit, the Apaches from Tyler, Texas. The Little League champions, with associate coach Duquesne on board, are batting 1,000 today. Yes, sir, these boys are champions in every sense of the word. They represent the best in sportsmanship, and theirs is the honor so justly earned. The Little Leaguers are the toast of the town, and out at the swanky Cork Club pool, Tommy Q thrills the boys with one from the high board. And the boys follow through with that old swim and hole technique. It's all been wonderful, and the lads have something fine to remember. But the most important thing in Little League Baseball has been aptly expressed by veteran sports writer Grantland Rice and is now voiced by a Little Leaguer.
When the one great scorer comes to write against your name, he marks not that you won or lost, but how you played the game.
This is Little League.